It feels like then. Hello, everyone. And I mean, everyone, hoping everyone is having a good night. Maliwanag pang araw, but it's nighttime already and it's too hot. So I'm Julie here of Grow Yourself, a teacher in New Zealand at a primary school. And together with me is Mary Ann. She's going to introduce
Hi.
herself.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, everyone. This is Mary Ann Honrubia again, and I am from Ray White Manukau, currently licensee agent, Pinoy licensee agent. It's just like very few in New Zealand, but at least I'm very thankful with to Ate Juvie for always having me here in her Grow Yourself
Hey, we're together
page
in this one. We're all
co-host.
Siyempre, kasi it's good to have somebody who has an expertise in this kind of field because we're talking about uh well, ano nga ba yun? My goodness me. First home buyers guides and insights. Ako naman as a first home buyer, so I have my I'm a home owner, so I have my personal experiences in buying a home. Of course, we have a real estate agent who has a lot of experiences in dealing with selling
The
properties.
process, yeah, selling process and buying process as well.
Anong may announcement ka ba? Anong
Oh,
mga
yes, actually, Ate. So like I'm so very happy to let you know. So my 83 T Aparangi Road in Papakura is under contract. Yay! So that's under contract po. And then we're just waiting for it to go on conditional. Currently conditional days. So conditional days para at least meron din kayong idea if you're buying a home and it's not going to auction, it's going to usually private treaty, or like let's say you're buying it for price per negotiation or asking price. You put an offer to the house that you're purchasing, and that is you're putting another like conditions on that. I think we've talked about that, Ate, from our previous episodes before, no, na parang you have to put conditions on when you're putting up or you're completing your sales and purchase agreement offer for the property you're purchasing. So currently yung bahay po na binibenta ko sa Papakura is under contract, and that is with conditions for finance, conditions of, well, lim report, we have provided it because the vendor has already ordered it. That was because we went through auction. And then we have conditions on building report. We did the building inspection yesterday, so hopefully everything, the report will be coming to my purchasers maybe by today. They've already received that, and the lawyer should be doing the due diligence with that now. And then last condition as well is subject to selling the purchaser's home. So what happened is,
yeah.
si purchaser ko po have also listed the property with me. So we have
Oh,
listed the property. Yes. So it's the house is actually, so this purchaser's ate is just they're wanting to upsize or upgrade because currently they have a 3 bedroom um property in Papakura as well. It's also newish build. It's the same age as my Te Aparangi, which is 3 years old lang po. And si ever it's a very, very good home, double glazing, everything is in standard. It's a modern, standard kitchen as well. It's just because it's 3 bedroom. And ate, additional. So we may go live by tomorrow, but the asking price, it has an asking price. So it's very, very transparent. The reason why is that para mas mapabilis yung pag-approve nila sa pagbili nung tiaparangi ko.
uh, kasi parang while you were saying all of those, I felt like that's my case. I'm wanting to upsize, but
Yeah.
definitely going on conditional. So just to clarify, the method of buying was first an auction.
So Mighty Aparangi went through an auction, ate, and then it got passed in at a price, at a value that my vendor didn't like, cannot accept because of the amount as well that they would need for the next home.
So it didn't
So
go.
yeah, it didn't go through auction, but through auction, of course, we have had all those people who were watch listing the property. So they were the thing is like after I have put, that's the thing, I have put a price on it. So I have
Um,
priced to sell it, and then it took a time. The thing is like the property that I'm selling is townhouses. Townhouses, it's very saturated. There's so much townhouses for sale at the moment.
in
Uh,
Auckland.
reason why it takes time, but always like you just pray. I prayed for it. My vendors prayed for it. The perfect buyer will come, and this buyers actually has come. So, but then they needed. So when they met me at it during the viewing,
Mm.
they weren't ready, so their finances are not ready,
Ah.
anything, like they haven't done anything at all. So they just saw my listing, and so they thought that, okay, well, wait, we fell in love with this property, this is the perfect home we're looking for, it's exactly what we're looking for. So what happened was, I was like, okay, so have you talked to a broker? So number one ko po talagang tanong, if you're a purchaser, so if you're buying, number one na tanong ng ahente is that, have you already talked to a broker?
Mm. And have
Kasi yun
they?
po talaga.
Siyempre.
No.
Oh, they haven't. Oh,
No. So
yeah.
I'm becoming quite an expert in that case na, kasi parang every time palaging, wait, okay, so you have a property to sell. Yes. Okay, well, do you already have an agent that you're wanting to work
Yes.
with? And then in the first case, ate, was that yes, they have. And the thing about me as an agent, ate, I'm not very greedy. I'm not trying to bring up my own share in here, but then the thing is, like, when I ask them that, okay, so if you have an agent that you're very comfortable working with, contact that agent and put your property on the market, because that's what's gonna make my vendor feel assured
Yes.
that you're
Yes.
serious in buying their home.
Yeah.
So parang, okay, so ang ginawa po nila is kinontak nila yung agent na they want to work with. But the
Mm.
thing is, the agent is in vacation and they're coming
Ah,
back like
so they
in
haven't
two
signed
weeks.
yet. So they are just like in
Yeah.
contact that they haven't signed any agreement.
Yeah,
So
because
when
they don't have any plans, ate, of buying.
oh,
They
interesting.
just fell in love. Yeah, so they just really
Ah.
exactly saw my listing. And then when they saw my listing, they were like, wait a minute, maybe we can. And then it's got an asking price. And they were like, maybe we can afford this. And then they went to my viewing. And then from the very, like, really from zero, I have to explain to them. I was with them 11 a.m. to view it. And then I went back. So I went to appraise their home. So after they viewed it, they asked me, Marian, what about you come to our home and appraise it? Do you think how much are we getting from the home? So I went there, did a quick appraisal, had a talk with them, and then I went back the next day. So the next day is that I already have my proper CMA, and then this is what I have done, appraised your home,
Anyway.
this is how much. Opo, yung current market appraisal. So
Mm.
Opo, so my comparable properties, which is the recent sold, and then of course the currently for sale in the area. So it's how their properties compared. And so I've done that. And so what happened, ate, was like, okay, I went down, sit down, I talked about it, like from the every clause I have to explain to them. And then of course I have to recommend them, talk to your lawyer, talk to a broker before signing any purchase agreement. And that's what I always recommend. And it is by law, as agents, we have to be recommending you guys before signing any contract.
Mm.
Please, seek technical and legal advice. Para at least hindi nyo, at least alam nyo na you're not signing your soul away from someone, di ba?
Yeah, yeah. That's good. And congratulations then. But
Thank
it's
you.
under condition that they have to sell
To
the house.
sell.
So they
Yes.
are happy to pay the price that the buyer is wanting to sell it for. So long.
Yes.
So what would happen if well, ang dami ko ng tanong, this is not meant to be our topic anyway, but let's sell an idea, What will happen if the house won't be sold?
So if the house doesn't sell because it's under condition, and it has, so the condition that we add in the further terms of the contract,
Mm,
it is, so that's clause 26 we've added, and it says there that conditional upon purchasers selling their own property. And then it has of course, the legal terms in there, and it has a date that says that this property would something until it goes unconditional on on this date. And if that was, so like, let's say I say January 15, if the house doesn't sell at January 15, that's one condition that failed. So it means that the contract doesn't go through. So this one, ate, is that it's quite complicated. A lot of purchasers were like, there's both parties that you have to make sure that they're comfortable and they're not scared, because both of the parties were really really anxious of what's happening. Like, okay, but what about this? Yung, opo, yun yung
Yeah.
nangyari sa tanong nyo.
What if? What if?
Yeah, so tanong po yan ng vendor ko, and then the vendor is like, but Marian, what if, kasi medyo mahaba. Syempre, we have to put in consideration the real timeline of selling a property, which is the purchaser. So how long will the property take to sell? So
Mm,
what I did, what my plan was, and I was very clear, what was, do you have any price expectations of your home? So nung nakita ko na yung bahay nila, I told them that every house sells, every property sells. The only thing is, it is still gonna go, it all boils down to you of what price will you accept to sell your home. Because if it's not, of course, possible for or acceptable for you, the
mm,
price that you're thinking in your, in your plans, I don't think it's gonna be really possible. So nung nakita ko yung bahay nila, it's a very beautiful property. It's a townhouse as well, same as my vendors. It is a 3-bedroom home, newish, brand, parang near new, freehold. And
mm,
for me, their price expectation is very realistic, which is, it's actually going, it's even below the CV. So it means I'm like, well, okay, opo. So sabi ko, okay,
yes,
these people are actually really realistic, and I am very confident na that will sell on the time that we offer the vendor. So
okay.
and that's what I did. So naglagay kami doon, but then of course medyo kabado si vendor ko, because what if Mary Ann, kasi ayaw nila na may escape clause.
Mm,
So
mm,
escape clause is that, I don't know if you have that, ate, no, with your home. So escape clause is that you can get out of the contract in a certain period, that you're gonna notify the purchaser that had the first contract under you, na I received a better offer from your offer. Unless you want to change it, you have 5 days of changing it or something like that.
mm,
So that's an
okay.
escape clause that vendors can get out of the contract.
Oh, okay. And
Opo.
oh, right. So anyone, yeah, mga no, those who are planning to buy a home, or just want to get an idea, feel free to contact Mary Ann. That's her
Yes.
job. I mean,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
happy, she's passionate about what she's doing. So feel free to contact her. Free advice and free guidance. Just flick her a message. And even to those who are wanting to upsize, I know I'm wanting to upsize as well, but I'm still having second. Yung sabi mo na realist sa akin eh, we're still happy with our property, so we'll see how it goes. So we will be
Yes.
about tips.
Yep.
We've been discussing the different tips previously, just to be able to come up with amount.
Opo.
But maybe there are some
And
tips. Would you like to go ahead and give your saving tips in order to come up with such amount for the first
okay,
home?
ate. Yours first.
I thought you're gonna go first.
You're first? Or
Well,
am I first? Okay, you're first.
okay, that's all right. The first thing that we have done, I was just so blessed that I was working as a teacher for I think couple of years, but I wasn't paid the right amount. And here comes the assessment of my teaching. What do you call this? Salary assessment. And so they paid me back, parang lump sum.
Ah, yes.
So I've received 30 something amount, 30K.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good.
Yun ang naging magandang amount na, oops, it may not be enough, but that's really a big start already. And
Yes.
I put that one in a term deposit. That's one thing that I've realized here. May term deposit pala. And the good thing with the term deposit, it has better interest rate compared to the
Yes.
basic savings account. So
Mm.
yun ang saving tips
Number one. Tayo.
share ko. Because after 3 months or ni-renew ko ulit for 6 months para mas malaki pa ang interest. So that's how it blew up to a bigger amount.
Which is it's
Yeah.
really good. I actually just want to continue that, ate. You know how they always say, I don't know if you've been through some of the seminars. I'm pretty sure you've done a lot of seminars actually. So you know like those financial seminars, and they always actually mention that if there are unexpected gifts or amount that comes to your account, you like majority of the times tayo and then us like when younger ones, when suddenly like let's just say a family gives you this amount, or then suddenly you have a inheritance, like we always kind of like, oh my gosh, I can buy this, I can buy that, I can buy
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I think that's number one, the tip of I forgot who was the financial advisor that I was talking to, but then they he or she mentioned to me na parang when you have unexpected savings like yours, ate, which is what 30,000, like it was very good of you to put it into savings because you already have a goal what you want to do with that money, instead of actually just being too excited because you
Mm.
have 30 grand more, you know. So that's very very good ano po no tips.
That you really have to be purposeful. You need to
Mm.
set your goals and work on it. Hindi pwede na
Mm.
pour down on you from heaven. You have to work
Yes.
hard. And because 30K is not enough, we need to come up with at least 60 and above, because 10% of the house that you
Yeah.
want to buy is what you need to come up with. And
Yeah.
every month we purposely save, I think 2K, 2K every month.
Mm.
So
Mm.
naman napupunta siya sa basic savings, because you cannot top up sa term savings, term
Yes.
deposit. Hindi ka pwede
Yes, it's
mag-top
just
up doon.
fixed in there. Opo, it's just fixed
Mm.
in there. I remember as well, ate, is that just to also talk about sa deposit, like what you said, it has to have at least 10% deposit. So like I think 10% deposit is actually, I think during that time it was a little bit too strict, but then now they have had all those, 5% deposit for first home buyers. And then I think it also depends on the provider and how your mortgage broker is gonna
Pero
help you with. Parang
ideally,
kasi may
narinig ko
10%.
dapat 20 daw.
Opo,
Tap
20. And then parang nung sumali ako, parang nag-start ako sa real estate, ate, yun yung parang bumaba siya na 10% lang
hmm,
yata.
tapos bumaba
Mm.
pa 5%.
Yes, now 5% because of all of course the government ones, which is the Kainga Ora. So those ones can help as well. And then yeah, so and then I remember Sanjeev, our broker that we invited here before. I think he was explaining about the 5% to one of our kababayan na tinulungan kong makilala si Sanjeev na parang, oh, you can have a 5% approval as long as both of you as couples have been in the company that you work with for at least more than one year. Parang
Hmm,
something na gano'n. So, at least may assurance si bank na you are on a fixed salary and that you're having, all this fixed income as well na. Yun.
hmm.
So, ayun.
That's good to take note. So, sa'yo,
Mm.
you just second the
Ako
motion.
hindi, ako ate, para sa akin ha, saving tip ko was that I remembered it was really quick of me saving 30 grand. It's funny, that's 30 grand as well. It took me, I think, 2 years, almost 2 years, na talagang nakafocus din ako ate na ino-auto-debit ko sa joint account namin ni Steven for savings. Na parang every time I receive my salary, I didn't even know. So I always auto-debit to most of my saving accounts. And then whatever is left in my account, yun lang yung pagkakasyahin ko. Like, oh, I don't have any money na I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm not gonna buy coffee. I'm not gonna buy,
Yes.
like that's what I did ate. And then I was so shocked that in less than 2 years, I was looking at our bank account and then I just told Steven, oh my gosh, ang bilis, nakaipon ako ng 30,000. Just by
Wow.
not, yeah, parang inano ko lang siya ate, naka-fix lang ako ng nababawas siya every time na may salary,
Like
diretso siya sa savings.
automatic savings, around how much ang mga savings mo?
I think I was doing 500 a week, and then sometimes it's kind of
Wow.
opo, and then if I have extra, because I've always been in sales, and then in sales you get commission. And then when I get commission, and that's for me is an unexpected income, so it's
Mm-mm.
not fixed. So parang every time that there's something coming up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had a commission of 3,000 or 4,000, and then what
Wow.
I'm gonna do is that, opo, and then what I'm gonna do is that, okay, maybe 80% of that goes to the saving, and then only 20% of that I can
Oh,
use and
that's good. Yes.
treat someone or treat my family or something.
That's right. Because yeah, you need to set. I've heard it so many times from mortgage or financial advisors that you have to set an amount for your savings first, and not what's left behind after spending.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yun ang mga tips namin ngayon.
I
And
think
there's yes, go ahead.
and I sorry, and I think ate, like the only sad thing is that, like, being a Filipino, and I think it's not just Filipino, I think some other cultures as well, is that we not I'm not sure with Chinese and Indians, because we have maybe listeners of like Chinese listeners and Indian listeners right now, and I think that they were brought up to become business minded people, and they're really really good in thinking of, like, doing businesses and everything. But then it's not, there's nothing wrong with us, with Filipinos. The only thing is we were brought up to be like, kind of like, hey, you're gonna
Capital.
be an engineer or something, like you're gonna be an employee,
Uh-huh.
like an employee instead of a business person, like we, like me, I when I was young, I'm just like, oh, I want to be a lawyer. I actually really want to be a lawyer.
That's not bad. I'm also trying to change the minds of my kids, but I'm allowing them to explore at the moment as well. But I'm showing them an example of how a life of a businesswoman is, because I'm a sole trader at the same time, and they see me
Yes.
my tax, doing my bookkeeping, doing everything. It's like a one person all. But I was telling them, okay, go ahead with your job, but I tell you, if my business will grow, my income will be unlimited
Yes, it's
compared to
actually really,
if
and
you're
then you
just an
get the
employee.
passive income, you don't even
Yes,
do much now.
yes, that's another thing. We can probably discuss about the passive income later on, because I'm into that kind of a bit, but
Oh
just starting.
yes.
Starting. Anyway, we've got a question here. Let me show that up. How big is the property? I think the property that you
Oh, I
mentioned.
think this is, I'm not sure if he or she is pertaining to the new listing. So this one is 86 floor area, 86 square meter floor area,
Ooh.
128 square meter land. So it's a townhouse. Pretty much 128 square meter land is almost like in the Philippines. Like typical
Mhm.
townhouses as well in the
Yes. So
Philippines.
it's a
So
two-story townhouse, I assume,
yes,
right? All the
yes, it's a two
bedrooms on
story.
top, all the
Yes
bedrooms
po.
on the second
All,
floor.
all the there is one bedroom downstairs and then two bedrooms upstairs.
Okay.
So
That
that one, I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if I should be telling it to you, but for me, para sa atin, baka may mga kababayan tayo ate, 3 bedrooms, ang expectation lang po nila vendor is nasa 720 something.
ooh, and
For three
townhouse.
bedrooms
Oh,
townhouse, newish build, so 3 years old.
three
Pretty
years
much
old.
you already have the double glazing. It's a very low maintenance home. It's pretty much a lock and leave. You don't really need to do a lot of things to maintain it, and then it's got two heat pumps, like it's those
Mm,
kind of amenities and chattels na sometimes
basic.
you still have to extra, yeah, you still have to extra
Is
pay
it
for some things.
gas heating as well?
Yes, so this one is gas, and then it's connected to town, and then, but their cooking ate is electric.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Opo.
not bad.
This is in Papakura. So that's in a newer development in Papakura. So if you have budget around the 720, guys, let me know. Baka ito na yung first home nyo.
720K, that means to say you have a deposit of
7
72
72.
72,000. Oh,
Yes.
we got another one here. Oh, I'm encouraging you, Rodin. Rodin.
Yes.
Save up
Ay.
now. He's still single. Save up now so you can buy your first home here. Maybe in a month's time when you come back from Australia. How are you there? He has a plan
Oh,
of buying
yeah.
his first home as well. So
Oh,
contact
that's
me lang
good.
si
So maybe just
Marian.
Try to get all those tips. Oh, yeah, see, try to get all those tips ate no na like if you have like yours is 30 grand and then me I just automatically pay like automatically withdraw it from my salary and it goes directly to the savings.
Yeah, especially with the teacher recently, we've got lump sum because of the increase of our pay. In my case,
Wow, congratulations, Ate.
I used it up when I went back home for the funeral. So yeah,
Oh,
I was supposed to be paying off my car and add topping up on my mortgage, but that's okay. At least I was able to have
yes.
something to spend when I went back home. Let's move on to another saving tips. If you have
Tip.
anything, yeah,
Well,
you.
of course, I think for me, if you are aiming to buy your first home, I would and you have Kiwi Saver, do not ever forget the power of Kiwi Saver because it's not always remember it's not just you who's contributing to your Kiwi Saver. Government will contribute and your employer will contribute. So do not ever, parang sa walang bahala ang Kiwi Saver. And aside from that, ate, if you are aiming to get to use the money in say 5 years time you're gonna buy, I put my Kiwi Saver on the highest risk, which is the growth fund. So
Mm,
it's the most the opo yun, so at the higher risk and it grows faster.
I forgot
Mm.
what's my one. I think conservative or growth.
Conservative.
I think growth ako. I'm not sure because grow
Yeah.
your one as a growth.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
forgot.
the
I just
growth.
let it be because I can't use it anymore anyway. It's just for my retirement.
That's true. Yeah, that's actually really true. So if it's in your retirement at yeah, just do the growth fund because you won't be needing it for like 5-10 years anyway.
Baka.
So yeah. But then what I did wrong ate though was the COVID season. You know how I was in growth fund and then I got scared because they were like that's one of my things. The thing is naniniwala ako agad-agad sa mga sabi-sabi dyan na parang oh my gosh kung sino yung naka-growth fund you will lose a lot of money because of COVID. So what I did ate was to switch my growth fund and then put it on conservative. And then
Ay.
after a couple of weeks, I realized, oh no, it's wrong. I put it back to my growth.
So when you have moved it to another account, the conservative, that was already less, right?
Yes.
So you
Yes.
should have
Bumaba
just
siya, yes.
mm,
I know. I
like
was really like I'm like, oh, I got so scared because a lot of people were talking about it, right, ate, because of all everything was being affected by COVID.
it's
So
the
yeah.
same with the stock market. When you
Mm,
buy it when it's down, and when
mm.
you want to earn more, then sell it when it's up. Marami
Yes.
mga usapan na it's going down, so you just have to take your money, and that's the wrong time talaga, the worst
Yeah.
time to get your shares
Yeah.
back, to sell
Yeah,
your.
so I took it out. That so I was under the generate Kiwi Saver because you can pretty much do it on your own. So you don't need to call them if you want to switch it, and then like you can do it on the
Yes,
app.
that's
Sabi ko, oh
right.
my
You
god.
can do it on your own without really proper guidance, and so
Yes, that's the
you learn
mistake.
from it anyway. That's a good realization. So, okay, you guys, be careful. It's good to have a chat with others who have experienced that as well. If you're listening to this podcast, you will really learn a lot, even just, while you're just washing your clothes or washing dishes or eating your dinner there while listening. You didn't need to
Mm,
see our faces anyway. Once you listen to us and absorb it, reflect on it, weigh it up, and match it according to your style and fit, however it fits you.
yes.
Awesome. My another one. It's just the last one, probably because we're going past already. Um,
Again.
I realized there is another savings account under A and Z. So we have the basic one, which is just earning a little interest. Magkano nga ba yung interest in savings? I think 2%. No, less
No,
compared.
it's less po ata. Yes po.
Way, way
Uh,
less, right?
yes. It's not that much. I can't even feel it.
Pero they have this serious saver account. Na
Yes.
have you heard of that too?
Yun
That you
yun
don't
ate yung dun nag-automatic pay yung savings
ah,
ko. The serious
Okay.
saver.
Kung mas malaki ang interest do'n. But the catch
Mm.
is, which I just realized as well months ago when I withdrawn money, is that when you withdraw money twice in a month, they're gonna charge you because
Yes, and
serious saver.
yes, at the end, you're not, if you withdraw once, you're not gonna get the interest for that month.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, for that month.
Oh
Yeah.
dear me, but I've withdrawn because it's an emergency. So that means to say I'm gonna
Yeah.
miss my interest
For
this
for
month.
that month.
Yeah.
Yes, for that month.
Oh,
So
that's
that's the saving, yeah, that's the savings that me and Steven opened for the two of us. The
the
joint
A.
account that I keep on, yes, A and Z Serious Saver.
Okay, there you go. Because of our discussion now, I realized meron pa palang ganong clause. Dear me.
Yes. That's
Last
the reason
time,
why it's Serious Saver.
serious. Kaya nga, dapat, you have to be careful on what you put in. And there's another technique that I'm trying to do as well. You know how I use my credit card, the low rate Visa card? I
Mm-hmm.
do my purchases using that because I don't have any fees for the whole year. Every year, there's no fee for my low rate Visa card with A and Z. But
Mm.
interest will only take place after, you don't pay the your debt after certain
Yes.
days. So I make sure that I pay it off after I get my
Mm.
statement in
Yes,
a
that's
month.
true.
And I would put my savings in my serious saver para at least dun dumarami, and then I'll
Opo,
just have
yes.
for my pay and pay off the debt. So if I have some extra, I won't pay it off yet until, when it is due for payment.
Mm.
I won't pay
Mm.
off my 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 debts first. I won't pay it off
Mm.
yet until it would be like the last day of when it's due. When it is,
Almost, yeah.
I put my savings in the serious saver and try not to touch it. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one that you've shared with me. Oh dear, I missed this one.
Yeah,
But
you lost that one, just the 1 month. So
yeah.
the yeah, I remember that because I did that when I was paying off for it. So it's for the birthday of Celestine, and then I used
Mm,
up most of the money, and then I'm like, oh shucks, then I didn't actually put aside for the birthday of Celestine. So what I did was I took some from the Serious Saver, and then it gave you a prompt. Actually, it gives you a prompt at it,
yeah,
and it says, "Opo." So and it says that if you're taking, you're losing the interest for this month.
I think I wasn't reading it so well. I think I've seen that as well that popped up, but I didn't read it yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go, guys. Simple tips when you're using your banks. Use it wisely. Use your
Mhm.
credit cards wisely. Make debts carefully because for me, that's not bad. It's
And
okay. So
I
pay it off.
and always make sure, ate, the good thing here in New Zealand is that I remember when I'm back home, assisting my sister throughout for, so sa funeral ni mama, and then the SSS and everything, after my mama passed, everything you have to pay. So you have to pay with everything a lot. And
Mm,
then when I was there, I'm not really used to anything at all, for like in the Filipino way, kasi parang para sa akin parang palaging lahat may bayad. And then sabi ko sa ate ko, I'm missing New Zealand now. It's not because I'm being a snob as a Filipino, but then there are so much services here in New Zealand that we're so lucky that we get it for free. Like you
yeah,
can get a first initial advice from a financial advisor without needing to pay them, a broker, you don't need to pay them, or a first initial consult from a lawyer. They usually kind of give you that, like a free consultation for your first,
yeah.
first consultation. And in the Philippines, everything I have to pay, and I'm like,
Even the
nagugulat
first
ako.
approach mo, bayad na kaagad. At least here,
Yes.
when people approach me for the first time, it's free. When they contact me,
Yes.
some ideas and all. But when they taking up much of my time, it's like it's been an hour.
Mm.
been 2 hours that we've been chatting. I'm still having a lot of things to do, and
Questions, yeah. And I think,
we
but
just
then I think
appreciate our
that's it.
time as well.
Opo. But then that's what I always have to say. So I think like that's what we also have to share to them, no ate. So like one of our tips is that like katulad ko nangyari sa akin, I didn't actually seek or talk to a an advisor before I took out my conservative and then put it my growth to conservative. So I'm like, okay, so now it really pays off to actually you may need to pay something if it's a really technical advice that you need, but at least it's better to always have technical and legal advice every time because you wouldn't want to actually down the line it will cost you more for a
Yeah,
mistake that you're gonna do po.
that's true. Uy, ano nga bang maabangan natin this 2024 when it comes to market? Uh,
Well,
yeah.
there's definitely a lot has been happening. A lot of activities are happening. A lot of vendors are ready to sell. So a lot of these people, these vendors that not wanting to sell because they needed to wait for like, oh, what happens after the election? Maybe I'll wait after the election. And then after the election, they were like,
Nothing
maybe
is
after the
changed.
holidays.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. And they were saying, I've read in a few articles that it's the house prices is starting to go up. I've seen
Mm.
it
Dip-
in our houses.
yeah.
The what do you call that one? The appraisal of the bank.
The
The
value LVR,
valuation.
what's the valuation or
Valuation, I
something?
think, of the bank. You know the app that we're using, and it says there as to around how much is our house at that
Mm,
moment.
mm, mm.
I think the bank's
This
valuation.
Yeah, the valuation. So it will definitely increase. It will increase in some suburbs as well. So you'll see significant changes on certain suburbs. There may be suburbs that maybe just still it's the same thing. But it happens is that what happens at is that the good thing where we're in Manorewa and in South Auckland, there's so much turnovers of selling houses and that's what actually affects the comparable sales, which is a CV of your home. Because it is when we do our appraisals as agents, we of course we put it into consideration to give you an appraisal as like according to the recent activities around your property. So having houses for sale in your home, you would also want to pray that they would sell it higher so that it will also kind of increase the value of your home.
Because the value of your home depends on the neighborhood. How much is the prices of your neighbors selling their
Yes.
houses for?
Yes, of course you would need to put it into like the factors as well. So like let's say your home, Ate. I know I've been in your home for multiple times. Your home is very beautiful. I know the area as well. And comparing it to the houses in the neighborhood, of course yours will be, you would expect more because you have
Yeah.
maintained your home pretty well.
Mm.
And even if the other house sells this much, and then you would have an expectation for your home, and then if someone says that, hey, that house sold at this much, you actually have an edge to say, well, comparing it to my house, of course it's going to be lower than my house. Um so for homeowners now they're listening right now in our show as well. It's not about it's not about spending so much to put a lot to add value in your home. You
Mm.
know that to add value in your home is to actually just maintain it very well, because at
Mm.
the end of the day there are homes that are, let's just say, the cladding is not as superior as a brick, but then it's how you took care of it comparing to this brick home. Say it's a fiber cement, but you well maintained the paint, and everything. That's going to increase the value of your home.
Ayan. So, and then are we expecting that interest rate will go up or it will still remain the same?
It's steady. It's steady right now, but the best person to talk to is that if Sanjeev is back from his holiday, I think he's still in Singapore right now. But I think it's really good for us at it to invite him again, no, so that we have a lot of questions then. Like me, even me as an agent, I know that we work close with brokers, especially Sanjeev. But at the end of the day, it is Sanjeev that is really, really close to banks and
Mm,
is communicated with, of course, the National Reserve and everything like that. Then he knows about interest rates. But I think the last time that I've spoken to him, he said that it's pretty steady at the moment.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm excited to have him again with us because I'm gonna ask personal questions. Kidding.
Yeah.
He's gonna be happy, but I'm gonna give him a heads up, like
Yeah, of all your questions.
if he's happy for me to ask him live on the day that he will be available. Right, everybody. I think we've gone too far already, and
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us tonight and for learning with us. Actually, sharing your comments as well, and I'm encouraging you all set your goals, clear your minds, and have that particular goal that you really want to hit by the end of this year. Even if it's just a certain amount, that's already a good start. So that next year you can buy
Yes.
your first home if you want to. And we're just here, and especially Mary Ann, if you want to learn more, the process about home buying. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Mary Ann. I'm going to see you again next
Thanks,
week.
Ate.
Wednesday.
See you. Bye
Bye.
bye.